The first person that ever gave me a job, his name was Frankie D'Agostino, who's my best friend still to this day. He would always tell me I'm the best in the world. And I legit had a camera in my hand for maybe a month. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even have a portfolio. I've never done it. He's like, you're the best.
Oh, I love that.
And he always said that to me, like legit every day.
Yeah.
And then I also realized moving through my life, the chapters, you know, the famous Steve Jobs saying, your life, it only makes sense looking backwards where you can connect the dots.
Right.
And connecting the dots with the people in my life, I've been very lucky where I've had many influential people that have seen more for me in my life. A term I'm using right now for my life and today is to cast a vision for my future. And a lot of the people in my life always had a vision for me way bigger than I could ever imagine. So the first thing was proximity. The second thing was just being relentless. I didn't have a choice. So something that I don't say often, you know, I come from a very good family and a very good background. I was put through private high school education, private Catholic university, and I had the love and support of my family until it was May 16th, 2016, I graduated, and it was around like probably a week, 2 weeks later, I get my grandma a call. I'm like, hey, like I need rent. And she's, rent, what are you talking about? Rent for what? And I go, for my basement apartment in New York. And she goes, no. She's like, it's done. Like, I've supported you your entire life. You're choosing to do this path. And if it's a path you want to do, you figure it out. You're a man now. And so in that moment, I realized two things. Number one, it was scary. But number two, it was me or nothing. Like I couldn't fall back on something. And I had to make the decision. The only thing I can't control is me. And so that's when I just went all in. And that's why I started saying to endless opportunities. And then the third thing was just faith. Like I come from, you know, I was raised a Catholic. I went to a private Catholic high school, private Catholic college. And I just knew that's the one thing for me that made sense is that, you know, I could pray towards something that makes me stronger, or I could just have a pity party and sit and cry and make, excuses about my life of how things are playing out. But I just told myself that, you know, by doing that it would make the most sense. So for anyone listening, I just really say when you're in a rut, when you're just like not sure of what to do, the thing you can do is pray. And the second thing is change your environment. And so even if the right people aren't around you, then go outside and start walking. You know, if you want to learn more, there's so many endless resources. Go to a library, legit go to a place where there's endless books. Because for me, I'll tell you the flip side of me, when I was deciding to take this leap of faith of then leading other content creators, there was a good month. Like I did my first workshop about 2 weeks ago. It took me 4 years to do that. Wow. And not that it took me 4 years to do it, it was the decision to do it.
Right.
There's a handful of characters in my life who've been around who literally one of my best friends, the guy who introduced me to Dan, one day I was in his kitchen and I was telling him about it for the, I guess, sixth time. And he looks at me dead in the eyes and he goes, you cannot bring this up to me one more time. No, he's dead serious. He said, you can't bring this up to me one more time until you do it. Don't stop bringing this up to me. He's like, go and do it.
Nice.
And I legit listened to, I called the day before. I was like, yo, I'm doing it. I was like, this is it. Like, I can come back to your house and stay with you, right? Like, when I come and visit you. But that just goes back to what I said in the beginning. Like, there was a lot of people that had a bigger vision for me. And I just took that leap of faith towards, doing something that felt really uncomfortable. But now it's turning into a thing where I'm committing to it once a month. So I'm doing my next one in Miami in May at my childhood home, which is going to be super cool.
Nice.
So I'm going to have my family there. I'm going to have my parents there.
That's
just even
awesome.
thinking about it now is making me emotional. It's going to be so cool.
One day you're going to have to come do it in Dallas.
Yeah. No,
can
that's the
use
plan.
some
I'm going to
of
do
that
most major cities.
Yeah.
I'm just taking it month by month.
Yeah.
That's my mindset of my life. I can't control yesterday or tomorrow. It's just today.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love that you said, if you're not around the right people, go outside, because years ago I heard that saying that you're the sum of the people around you.
Right.
And I looked around me and I was like, well, shit, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, sometimes people, and this is reality, is maybe that circle is your family.
Yeah.
Like, I love my mom. I can't spend more than like 5 hours with her straight. Like, I just love her.
Yeah.
And I know that, and I have awareness of that.
Yeah.
And so I'm aware of that. My sister, my siblings, I love them, but there's a certain time period where I'm like, hey, like, I got to go out and do something. I got to go out and move. I need to switch it up. And and I think that's so big of people getting caught up of not denying their family, but more so just saying like, hey, you put them there and just go do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
And when you show up for yourself, they'll still be there.
Yeah,
even win or lose, that's kind of the whole thing. Of
the way
family.
I changed my energy circle was through podcast and through YouTube. And I just started looking. That's where I found a lot of the speakers that I listen to today, because I wanted to change my energy, and I did not have access to that type of people and that type of energy. And the minute I started changing every morning, as we talked about, I listen to a podcast or a YouTube, get someone else's perspective and just change my energy. And now I'm surrounded by people like that I want to be around and that I want to be in the energy circle of. So I'm a firm believer in that. I love that you said that.
I want to give tactical advice. I think the number one thing everyone should do is create a schedule. The same way you schedule your workouts, you schedule picking up your kids, and you schedule your own personal nights out or dinners out, you schedule your content. And I always say start off easy. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, make a commitment. Designate Mondays, what are you posting? Wednesdays, what are you posting? Fridays, what are you posting? And then, similar to how we spoke about before, when you're filming podcasts, you film 4 in one day and you're ready for the month. Do the same thing with your content. Always be a week or 2 weeks ahead. And by having content scheduled, you then have conviction in what you're posting. So I've been there. We've all done it. You're like, wait, it's Tuesday, 2:00. I should be posting this. Wait, I could be posting that. What's the caption? What should I be posting? How often? What is the soundtrack I should be using? Eliminate all the confusion with creating the schedule and conviction on what you're posting on what day. Make these non-negotiables. You post at 9 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On Monday, let's make it fitness. Just to make it easy. On Mondays are those workout reels. Give someone 4 to 5 workouts that they can do at home. On Wednesdays, you give them nutritional value. Again, it's the sum of all things that support you as a person to then look at you as motivation or inspiration. And those are the 3 pillars I always live by: is motivation, inspiration, education. You do that through your content. You'll create a community. You'll create a following. You'll create people that'll show up for you. Not only quote unquote follow you, but really look up to you and what you do and how you do it. And I think through that ethos of, that scheduling strategy, then you can diversify and start making it fun, creative, interesting, pick up on trends. That's always great. People identify what's going on and what is good in your career, of what's working and what's not working. Have those conversations. And I also believe podcasts, the same way we're having this conversation. We're at this amazing home in West Hollywood with insane production, lights and stuff. You could do from your phone with an iPhone. That's very easy to do. Set up a tripod, get your phone running, turn it on Do Not Disturb, get the DJI mics, and just talk. It doesn't matter if one person's listening or none. You're getting the reps in of having conversations, of them people understanding your voice, of them hearing conviction on your education, on your background. Someone like yourself, you're selling you sell commercial jets to sit on these private planes to experience that. Talk about the experience. Talk about your services, right? That makes you unique. Why should someone come to you? Why should I go to Tia in Dallas, Texas to help me book my planes going from this place to that? Speak about the services, testimonials, and then through your voice of conviction, education, and inspiration, clearly your life has been very unique. Something that I haven't heard of someone having 3 kids by the age of 16. Speak about that. Because your voice, no one is you. That saying cannot be more understated. We are all unique. The place you're living, the place where you're at, who you are surrounded by makes you you, and share that, because no one is you. No one has the same DNA. No one looks like you unless you have twins. But the idea is that you're unique in who you are. And it's really a shame to not share the values and the education or kind of the things that you've learned to the world, because you're taking something from someone that needs your help and or services.
Yeah. I love that, because we got to a space a while back when social media was fairly new, dinosaur age was like 10 years ago. And everything had to be a major production.
Yeah.
And I love that it's getting so organic now, because it's so much more interesting, you know? One question that people ask me all the time is, which social media should I focus on? And I'll just tell you my background. I believe in full diversified marketing. Even though I was a programmatic marketing expert, I believe in doing everything, and that's what ties together. That's what makes it the best. So I kind of have that view on social media, and people are like, there's no way.
I do believe it does take less than 5 minutes to grab that content and distribute it. But I also think you should also recognize, where does your audience live? Where are the people, an example, running a company? You need to make money, and understanding where your clients. For you, I'm assuming it's between Facebook and LinkedIn. No, rarely. I'm sure you can get business from TikTok. Not to say you can't, and it's not impossible. But the idea is, I'm assuming most are high earning professionals on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You identify who they are, what they do for a living, and you automatically, it kind of removes all the dead weeds of saying, all right, this is not someone who lives with his mom who's wishing to be on a jet.
Yeah.
You're saying to yourself, this guy owns a multi-million-dollar company. He has a staff of 5 that he likes to travel with.
Yeah.
So instantly that gives credibility of who you are and what you're doing towards the consumer. So I would say for you is LinkedIn. But for me, I think it's also to be aware and have awareness of what's tried and true is Meta, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's the largest social media platform. They acquired Instagram for $1 billion, WhatsApp for another ridiculous amount of money. They're not going anywhere. They're the forefront, what I call the queen bee of all social media platforms. And the second is I personally love Instagram. I just think it's the 21st century business card. I think, you can't have a website, but people always refer to your Instagram. They go up to the same way you look up something, said, can I Google that? You say, what's your Instagram? It's a form of language now.
Yeah.
And identifying that being your social media / business card of today is very important. Because right off the rip, within the first 9 posts, I could identify who you are, what you're about, and who you're working with. Saying that you're doing a good job of demonstrating your business or personal brand. And through that, I think you could then diversify, get into the TikToks, get into LinkedIn, of course, being a business professional, and any other platform that has interest to you. But really is between Facebook and Instagram for me.
Yeah. You're right, though. Where's your audience, right?
And sorry, of course, I cannot forget YouTube. Something really big that people need to be aware of is that Google owns YouTube now. And so when you Google something, I don't know if you've seen of late, it pops up before the top 5 search engines or videos. The SEO. And that's huge in a business. So yes, long form content, make sure to be posting it on YouTube. And then you have your shorts. I'm posting all my Instagram reels on YouTube shorts now. I know we just had to not go all in on everything, but it's identifying what is the landscape of today's world and the language that people are having and what resources and how you could use them. Because everything I said is free. Like outside of making the content and outside of amazing production, you can grab your iPhone, stand in your kitchen and just talk and talk about your business, talk about what you're doing and service people and create a community.
Yeah. It's huge for people that are like, I don't have a marketing budget.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. And a lot of things we said, you could Google or YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
How to do it at home.
YouTube's the second largest search engine.
Yep.
Google's the first.
That's how I learned almost everything.
Yeah.
What I do for a living is legit. When people would ask me, hey, can you do this on Photoshop? Yeah. I would search it. It took me a while, but I would get it done.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what I did when I first started for the first 5 years.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if there's any correlation because I haven't asked anyone, but since TikTok has been out, it seems like YouTube's algorithms have advanced. So I don't know if they're taking lessons from what's happening in other social media, but you and I were talking about it earlier. Now I get on YouTube and it suggests videos that I really want to watch. Where before,
this is like
it was so
the YouTube black hole. I did that yesterday. I was searching a song and then I was like recommended video of this trailer of a movie. I'm like, oh, what's that? Right. And then a recommended playlist of this DJ playing out overseas. I'm like, what's that? I'm like, wait, I spent 2.5 hours looking at videos that had nothing to do with what I wanted to look up. I do that pretty often now.
Yeah, I love it because I pretty much watch the same stuff. You know, inspirational podcasts, all that kind of stuff. And it'll suggest, it knows what I've seen. It suggests new ones and it makes it just faster for me. I love it. But yeah, so for Stella Jets, for our audience, we are on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. I was actually surprised. It was actually the first Aspire. The first Aspire I went to was in Santa Clara, Aspire event. And everyone there they were like, follow me on Instagram and I'll follow you back. And then we can talk there. And I was like, since when did Instagram become the business person's like chat? And, my granddaughter, one day she was saying some boy was cute at a basketball game. And I said, oh, you want me to go get his number for you? And she was like, Mimi, that is so embarrassing. We don't exchange numbers. We exchange snaps. And I was like, oh. But business people, it's Instagram.
Yeah.
That's like
Again, it's understanding your audience. Yeah. Snapchat, for the younger demographic, they use it as a text messaging service. They have this thing called streaks. And those streaks identify the conversation between you and I. And every streak is a day of us talking.
Wow.
So it's like a thing within it. Again, understanding your audience and where they live. The younger demo lives on Snapchat. That's my cousins and everyone's on that. Me, I'm good. I have it, but I don't do anything on it.
I only do it for the filters. When I want to pretend like I'm Kris Jenner.
Yeah, there you go.
But for business people, it's like Instagram is our Snapchat.
Yep.
I was really amazed. So I do a lot of Instagram because so many people that do business with me, that's like you said, that's their calling card. That's the way they want to talk.
Yeah, I identify, just listen and watch people, and that'll give you an understanding of the trends. People are like, I don't know what's hot. Just start asking around, have conversations. Jump on your phone and just see what's becoming viral. Just like anything else, I consider social media like a park. If you focus on the basketball courts and you're only watching basketball games, you're only interacting with what NBA players are posting or games that are happening in the playoffs, that's the only thing you'll see then. Start consuming the things you want to be consuming and engaging with those pages, and that'll start to filter out your current algorithm, which has happened to me. Like mine used to be a ton of like memes of partying and doing X, Y, and Z, and now it's really just three things. Like a lot of it's like motivational content, cinematic things of people speaking over it, and imagery that involves traveling, something faith focused, and or content creation. It's like that's it. And a special thing that I've loved I did recently was mute people. That is something that is so big because you allow them to focus your time on the things you're choosing to pay attention to. Because it's very easy. I've been there, done that, on jumping on your phone and realizing, wait, 3 hours of my life just went by and nothing has changed. And then you're sitting there and dwelling on your own past or dwelling on your current life as if it's not good. And comparing yourself to others. That is the biggest enemy. You want to talk about dark place? That's being in your head. Being in your head and having that negative self-talk because you'll never win. That's just what it is. It's that side of things that say to yourself that you're not good enough, you're not better than anyone else, that your life is not as cool, and or you're not succeeding as quick as everyone else around you. That's all a lie. It's a complete lie you're telling yourself. That's a complete lie you're having with yourself. You remove that by doing the things that fulfill you and or move you towards that goal. And for me, I've just been focused on those three things, like daily action of just my personal fitness, cold plunge, sauna, steam room, jacuzzi at one point, having deep conversations with my siblings, my mom, texting them, sending them photos, and everything, aka like this moment, is a plus of my day. That's literally what I tell myself when I get work done. I have deep conversation with my family and loved ones. I work out. I had a great day. And that's it. And everything else that happens outside it is a good day. And I think that's just so important. People think they need to be doing so much, or they think they need to be in so many places at once. It's like, no, it's just a lie you're telling yourself, and that's society that's telling you need to be that. Find the things that fuel you and stop doing the things that drain you.
100%. 100%. And when you schedule your day out to all the things that are important for you and make sure that you make time for those, it actually organically eliminates the amount of time you're spending doing mindless stuff.